Hey everyone, welcome back to the Everyday Carry channel for another firearm review. But first, on my wrist today is my 39mm Islander Pilot Watch, and in my pocket is my Ontario Rat 1 with a D2 tool steel blade. On the tabletop for review today is my Shadow Systems CR920X. This gun was, it's basically a copy of a Glock 43X, or a gun it was modeled after. A lot of the parts are interchangeable with a 43X. I believe the slide will go onto a 43X, the barrel, the whole upper you could just swap over. Differences are the magazines. They're proprietary to Shadow Systems, 15-round magazines versus the 10-round Glock magazines. I know you can buy 15-round magazines for the Glock, but they won't work in this gun because the magazine release is different on this gun than it is on the Glock. In the hands, this gun feels great to me. I believe it is an improvement over the Glock 43X 48. The way it's undercut in the trigger guard here, and it has this lip here, it locks my hand in. I felt like on the Glock I had a little bit less room. It's got sandpaper type texturing on it. Dimensionally, it's almost the exact same size as the 43X. You got 1 inch thick in the grip here, a little bit less than 1 inch in the slide, about 5 inches overall in height, and a little bit less than 6.5 in length. 3¼ inch barrel. They have the Foundation series, which is the entry-level version of this gun, and then they have the Elite version. I ended up going with the Foundation series. I do like the look of the Elite, but I have some reservations about buying a carry gun with a hole in the slide. I don't like the window in the slide. The same reason I switched to enclosed red dots. I found that when I carry a gun, I would always get lint inside of the red dot, and I didn't want to have the opportunity of getting lint inside that hole in the slide. It would be probably highly unlikely that that would happen because your holster covers up the slide of your gun, so you won't have any issues like that probably most of the time. But I just didn't want to run into that issue. I like having a closed slide for my carry gun. Also, it's cheaper. I was able to save a little bit of money to buy a red dot for this because I think it's about $200 cheaper, and that's about the price of the O-sight there that I put on it. Foundation series comes with two 15-round mags. They're stainless steel. It comes in a cardboard box. I went to the range today. I shot maybe 300 rounds down range. I didn't have any issues. I experienced no malfunctions. I made sure I loaded up all the magazines fully with 15 rounds, and I put 1 in the chamber for every magazine. So I had 16 rounds total, so I could simulate what I would carry it like. And again, I didn't have any issues. Toward the end of the range session, I did shoot an accuracy test. The gun was nice and warm. I shot 1 5/8 group at 10 yards. It's not terrible. I'm sure the gun could have done better. That was me limiting it to 1 5/8. Yeah, I mean, the gun felt great in my hand. One thing I noticed that I had issues with the Glock 48 that I had before this. For some reason, the trigger on the Glock, even though I did change the trigger to a aftermarket trigger, but I felt when I pulled the trigger, the recoil would pinch my finger. And I don't notice it as much on this gun as I did on that gun. I still feel like it has more recoil than my P365X macro, but overall I think it shoots pretty well for as light and as small as it is. It is 2 or 3 ounces lighter than the X macro, and it's a little shorter in height and a little shorter in length, so it should be a little bit more concealable and a little bit more carryable. I do feel I shoot the X macro a little bit better, but I have more time behind that gun than this one. Here it is taken down, guys. It comes down just like any normal Glock pistol would, or most pistols do. Pull the 2 tabs and slide the slide forward, pull the trigger. Internally, it looks just like a Glock would. I think many of these parts will be interchangeable with the Glock. I know the complete upper you can put onto a Glock 43X. After 300 rounds, there's no abnormal portions of wear. Everything looks like it's wearing nicely. You can see there's a little mark on the barrel here that's starting to appear. I had another Shadow Systems MR918 with the same finish on the barrel, and it weared in nicely. It didn't wear quickly, so I think Shadow Systems, their barrels are finished nicely. I don't foresee any issues with it. Here it is back together, guys. Again, this gun shot great at the range. I'm looking forward to getting more familiar with it and more comfortable with it. Right now I'm more used to shooting my X Macro, but I've owned it for longer. I do feel this has a little bit more recoil than the X Macro, but overall, this might be a competitor to it for a carry option. Here, let's check out that trigger. I think the trigger is a minor improvement over the Glock trigger. It's got a quick reset. It's not gritty, a little bit mushy, take up, and then a crisp break. Not a lot of over travel. I mean, honestly, it feels pretty similar to a standard Glock trigger to me. Not a huge improvement, maybe minor improvement over the Glock trigger. I do feel the Glock or the trigger face feels a little bit better in my hand against my finger than an actual factory Glock trigger. All right, guys, let me know about what you think about the CR920X. Would you guys choose this gun for everyday carry? I mean, I think this is a good option. It's real comparable to a lot of the other stuff on the market right now. If you compare it to the 43X, it's a little bit more expensive. I think the MSRP on this is $599. 43X MOS is like $499 or somewhere around there. So this is about $100 more, but in my opinion, I think it's worth the $100 more because, for one, it comes with the 15-round mags. You would have to buy the shield arm mags, and then if you buy the shield arm mags, you got to switch the magazine release from the plastic to a steel magazine release so it doesn't wear on the magazine. To me, this optics cut is a little bit superior to Glock's. If you have a Howison 407K footprint, you can't direct mount the optic to the Glock. You have to get an adapter plate that causes the optic to sit a little higher on the gun, and you're gonna have to spend more money there. This one, it has a direct mount. It's got spacers, so you can get different optics for this, and it locks it in place. It includes the screws. Glocks don't include the screws. You would have to get the screws with the adapter plate that you get for it. I think this is worth buying over the Glock, and I think it's real competitive in the market at $599. SIG X Macro is around $600 or $700 also. Let me know what you guys think. Hey, if you guys like my content, please like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks.